That's a lot of birds. Bam. My peoples. My peoples. Jaron Boots Ennis reportedly is saying that he wants 2 tune-ups in the 154 division. He wants 2 tune-ups in the 154 division before stepping in the ring with the big boys. It's being reported that His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh offered the fight with Virgil Ortiz, but Boots says, nope, I need 2 tune-ups at 154. There you have it. You know, lots of people been saying that Virgil was ducking Boots, and then there was people saying that Boots was ducking Virgil. Well, right now, Boots could have had that fight, and he chose not to. He wants 2 tune-ups, my people. So we got to talk about it. Y'all already know what it is. This is Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. I'm Jay Smith. Let's get it, my peoples. J Max. Hey, bro. What's up, J Max? Superman. Buenos dias, Smith. ¿Qué es lo que es Superman? Bam. My peoples. Díganme que ustedes creen. Let me know what y'all think, man. Jaron Boots Ennis. 2 tune-ups before stepping up with the big boys. I want to know what the people got to say. I want to know what y'all got to say about somebody like Jaron Boots Ennis wanting 2 tune-ups before fighting, you know, the likes of Virgil Ortiz or the world champions. Because Virgil's not a champion right now. Mr. KO, you know how we start off the mornings. Bam, my dude, what's the deal? My co-host, Mr. KO, in the building. El fantasma de Geraldo Ledín. Buenos días, bendiciones, hermanito mío. Se le quiere mucho. J Max, love it. El fantasma de Geraldo Ledín, Mr. KO. So, check it, man. I'm going to give you guys my personal opinion on the situation, and you guys can share your thoughts. I think that business-wise, I understand it. I understand Boots wanting 2 tune-ups before a championship fight. Why? Or a high-level fight. Why? Because you get 2 easy wins, 2 nice little paydays first, and then you get the big fight, right? It's the same thing that Canelo Alvarez did with Terence Crawford. He could have went right away and fought Terence Crawford instead of fighting William Skull. But he said, no, wait a minute. I need a multi-fight deal. I think it's a 3-fight deal, if I'm not mistaken. So he got a bag first and then fight Terence Crawford to get an even bigger bag. So his Bulls just trying to do that, make money, make that money. Yo, let me get 2 tune-ups. Or does he feel like he really got to get ready for 54? He can't hang with the big boys in that division just yet. Virgil Ortiz just got to that division. It's not like he's been there for years. That's all I'm saying. Mr. KO, I don't think anything wrong with that, but it depends on who. Superman, he's trying to acclimate to the weight because he probably don't believe he's ready. The only thing I got to say about that, man, Bull's been sparring with 154-pounders, 160-pounders, 168-pounders. Yo, even bigger than that. He been sparring with big dudes. Boots is a big guy. He a big dude, man. What, like 5'10"? If somebody could look it up in the chat, Boots like 5'10", bro. Big, he a big guy. J Max, it all makes sense. Why wouldn't you do that? J Max, I think he's just feeling it out. Look, I'm going to tell you guys what I think about that. From a business perspective, I get it. Because, again, as a fighter, you want to make as much money as you can. And, yo, a tune-up is a quick bag that I know I'm going to win this fight. I'm not going to struggle too much. I'm not going to, be in a dogfight. This a win, quick payday. But from a fan's perspective, it's not a good look, my peoples. And y'all know, everybody in this chat who's part of the Box Center family, y'all know that I'm a Jaron Boots Ennis fan. But what I'm about to tell you may not be what you want to hear if you're an extremist. I'm not an extremist. It's not a good look, and I'll tell you why. Take a look at Terence Crawford, for example. jumping up 2 divisions, going straight for Canelo Alvarez. Where, look, a lot of you are saying he's going to get knocked out and Canelo's too big. Reaching for greatness. Look at Manny Pacquiao. Came out after all those years of inactivity. Straight for the champion, Mario Barrios. Look at Devin Haney. Making the debut, official debut at the welterweight division versus Brian Norman Jr. That may have fallen apart. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. But my point is that the big names, they don't be moving up and saying, yo, I need a tune-up first. They be moving up, bam, right? But not always. That's not fair for me to say that. Because Teofimo Lopez, when he moved up to 140, he didn't get like a big name like that either. So it wouldn't be fair for me to say that everybody moves up to a big name. But everybody's not offered a big name when they move up. Everybody's not in the same circumstances. We know that Jaron Boots Ennis could have had Virgil Ortiz if he wanted to. Now, to be fair, I didn't want that fight right now just yet. I said it before. I feel like one of them, at least one of them two, should be champion before they fight each other. Because both of these guys have superstar potential. So why would you fight them, you know, in a title eliminator or a 10-rounder? That would be ridiculous. So you got to have them in a title fight where one of them is defending, or a unification fight. But I digress. Jaron Boots Ennis. Let's think about this, my people. He went from, at 147, right, calling out Crawford, saying that he wanted Virgil too, saying that he wanted everybody. He want everybody. Mr. Body Snatcher want everybody. To moving up and say, I want 2 tune-ups? Bro, I don't even think I ever heard of a world champion moving up and saying that they want 2 tune-ups. I don't think I ever heard of that. This may be the first time. Imada 210. Do you think it was disrespectful for Turkey to announce Bam versus Puma before the Cafu fight? And also, what do you think about Bam and Barrios' performance? So I will say, Turkey does a lot of little things, man, that are unprofessional. I didn't like that at all. I think it definitely was disrespectful because he's already, you know, looking past Cafu, who's a world champion. You disrespecting him. You're being disrespectful towards him. And who was it that lost, that got knocked out? Let me see. There was a fighter who lost, and I hated the way Turkey acted about it, man. Oh, yeah, Tszyu. You know that Tszyu kind of has gone back and forth with Turkey, right? And Turkey, after he got knocked out, he was like, you see, like, he's not worthy of the Riyadh season. Look, like it was a tweet to, like, demean Tszyu, to diminish him. And it was just a nasty, like, I noticed that somebody else retweeted that, but say, yo, this is so nasty, so unprofessional, so rude, so... And His Excellency Turki Alashi took it down. He tweeted that and took it down. And you know that he's a very prideful person. So for him to take down that tweet, he know he messed up. He know he messed up. So there's a lot of little things, man, that I don't like about how Turkey be acting, bro. Real talk. As far as the performance from Bam and Barrios, Bam was special. He was special. Cafu is not to be disrespected. I believe if he doesn't have to face Bam to fight for a title, he'll be a world champion once again. Cafu was incredible. I'm telling you, he landed more punches on Bam than I think I've ever seen somebody land. He was that good. But then he had somebody that was special in front of him. And Bam just showed out. You know, for those who just haven't accepted it, I think Bam reaffirmed, look, I'm showing you that I'm special. There you have it. Another special performance from Bam Rodriguez. Barrios' performance, honestly, I was kind of disappointed because it felt like he showed way too much respect to Manny Pacquiao. I don't know. I know that the speed at times was disruptive. I know that. But there were times where I felt like, nah, man, you're showing way too much respect. Manny Pacquiao doesn't have that type of power. He's not showing that type of power to where you have to respect him like that. I've seen a Mario Barrios have a higher punch output with more dangerous opponents than Manny Pacquiao. So I didn't like Mario Barrios' punch output. J Max, but that's just my opinion. I'm all for Crawford, but I'm a huge fan of Crawford. I mean, I'm a fan of all these fighters. You know, I'm a fan of all these fighters. You could see me criticizing a fighter or criticizing something that they did, but I'm a fan of all these guys. I'm a fan of boxing. Everybody, I know what it takes to step in the ring. I've done it myself, and I got mad respect for these people who do it at the highest level. Bleed Blue, Jake Paul is coming. Maria Kozak. Hello, Maria Hungaria Budapest. Ooh, Hungaria Budapest in the building. Maria, salute. Shout out to everybody who tuned in from Hungaria Budapest. This is amazing, man. I don't know how you guys find me. I don't know how the algorithm takes me over there, but I appreciate you tuning in, Maria. Mr. KO, do you believe it could have happened at 47? Ennis versus Ortiz. I think there was a very limited window where that fight could have happened. The problem is that, you see, Virgil had to leave the division because he couldn't make weight anymore. Like, he nearly lost his life trying to make weight. That happened twice to him. So there was a limited window where that fight could have happened. However, neither one of them had the level of popularity where that fight was going to make the kind of money that it could make now or even in the future. So I think that fight wasn't ready to get done back then. Mr. KO, honestly, it depends on who the tune-up is. I mean, I guess that depends too. But, man, if you have the opportunity... Look, if you're a fighter who people consider special, who people consider like, this is the guy, you are him. We're expecting you to move up and go after the big guns right away. Straight up. You are Jaron Boots Ennis. You the guy. So I'm not feeling the tune-up. I'm not feeling it. But I'm talking to you now as a fan, right? As an analyst, I'm telling you, from the business perspective at least, it makes sense. 2 tune-ups, 2 paydays. Let's go for the big money now. Yeah, it makes sense. Mr. KO, Turkey the dictator allows Sheik. Starting to look that way. Starting to look that way. John Parham, salute. Salute, my brother. J Mags. Tszyu. Timmy. Damn, man. That was tough. That was tough. I personally predicted that Tszyu was going to win this fight based off of how the first one played out. Whoa. Sebastian Fundora was just something else. Now, you may recall, in the last fight, Timmy hurt Fundora a couple of times. This time, he landed some good shots this time around too. Don't get it twisted. But Fundora was just outworking him, outlanding him. It was almost like 10, 15 hard punches to Tszyu's head to 1 punch to Fundora. Boom. And then 15 more punches to Tszyu's melon to another punch. Boom, to Fundora. Like, look, I don't know if Timmy quit or if the doctor actually pulled the plug. But I'm good with that stoppage, man. That stoppage had to happen. Jay Jones, I agree. He showed Pacquiao too much respect. Good fight. I mean, like I said, Pacquiao did some things that could have maybe caused disruption in him. But still, the punch output was way too low. A guy, a warrior like Barrios, that punch output was way too low. Pierre Oliver, Boots versus Fundora. Who you got? Ooh. Man, you put me on the spot right there, bro. Damn, Pierre. What you on to this morning, Pierre? We cool peoples, B. Why you gotta hit me with that curveball this early in the morning, bro? All I'ma say is, shit, man. Sebastian Fundora versus Jaron Boots Ennis. All I'm going to tell you is that Boots want 2 tune-ups. That's what I'm going to say about that. What you got to say about that? Mr. KO, I'm going to keep it a buck. Now that I think about it, Jay Smith, you're right. Boots versus Bakram. What do you think about that fight? I love that fight. I love that fight. But Boots versus Bakram, that's no tune-up. I don't view that as a tune-up. When I hear tune-up, I think about a lower level opponent that we know Boots is gonna dominate. That's what I think about tune-up. And that's why His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh said, I don't do charity. Do that stuff over there with Eddie. When you're ready for the big fight, come holler at me. But Bakram, man, I like that fight. Boots versus Bakram, but like I said, my brother, that's not a tune-up. Just think about the way that Bakram absolutely obliterated Tszyu. It's not a tune-up. Don't get it twisted. Aroma Sound, Fundora looking hard to beat right now, man. Listen. I would say that right now to beat Fundora is only two type of fighters that's gonna be able to do this. Number one, somebody who's just as tall as him, where his reach is not gonna exist, it's gonna be non-existent. And right now in the whole world, there isn't a single fighter in that division of that height who has an elite level. There is nobody of that height. So we can eliminate that fighter because it doesn't exist. And then you have the fighter who's going to be shorter but has the elite level footwork. Somebody like that can beat Fundora. Somebody who has the footwork that'll be able to go on the inside, pop, 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 and go back outside. And that'll be able to offset Fundora's reach. Someone who can also make a reach in, make a miss, pop, pop, counter him with combination. But it takes a lot of speed for somebody to pull that off. Superman, we gotta see what back have, cause that's nasty work versus Timmy. Yo, he can fight, man. He can fight. I started looking at video and looking at, number one, he has a lot of power. It's very hard, both heads. And number two, he's a big guy. That's why if he fights Jaron Boots Ennis, I believe it's a very tough fight. Boots can win it, but it's a very tough fight. He's gonna win in a showdown where he's gonna go through the trenches. Like I said, Bakram is no tune-up, bro. No tune-up. J Mags, you're exactly right. Coming off of angles and have good footwork. You see, you need somebody like that. If you're gonna go, look at Timmy in this fight. He tried to go blow for blow with Fundora. You're gonna fail miserably because this guy's, while you're trying to just get to him, this guy's punching you in the face from damn near across the ring. You saw the straight left hands that Fundora was landing on Timmy. Like Timmy back was against the rope and Fundora like in the middle of the ring talking about bang, bang, take those with you, buddy. It's gonna be a problem, man. You need some serious. And I was saying it during the fight, my peoples. Tszyu has to add the clinch to his arsenal. He has to do it, bro. If you watch when he lost to Bakram, when he got stopped brutally, it was the same thing. He's taking flush punches to the head, and he's like this. Like, bro, clinch. You out there getting pummeled. And for whatever, well, look, this is when I want to tell you guys the perfect time to bring it up. My peoples, clinching in boxing is a real art. It's a real art to clinch. So when you're watching from the outside looking in, the clinch could be boring. It could be like, why he doing that? It could be like, but this is also a strategy in a fight that keeps you from taking extra punishment. If you're hurt, like, let me give you an example. Look at Devin Haney. Look at the difference between when a fighter is really good, because Tszyu is really good, versus a fighter who is great. Devin Haney's great. Remember when Devin Haney got hurt by Linares? Bad. Got stumbled. Linares landed that big shot flush. Devin Haney was dancing salsa. He was dancing. And what did Devin Haney do? He started clinching and using the footwork. And that happened, if I'm not mistaken, in the 10th round. Chat, can y'all tell me the 10th round, 11th round, it happened? And Linares was never able to land that big shot again on Devin. You see the difference? He got hurt, wobbled, but then he had that instinct. Every time Linares closed the gap, whoop, clinch. If you know how to clinch effectively, you're going to avoid taking a lot of punishment. And Tszyu will not clinch. Watch the fights. Watch the fights. The 3 fights where he lost. Watch them. And the round number 10. Watch the fights that Tszyu lost. And you'll see that he does not clinch. So I'm telling you, my peoples, when you watch fighters that may even clinch excessively, that's a skill. They might overuse it, but clinching is a skill, my people. Superman, the wobble, wobble, shake it. Bro, he was out there living La Vida Loca. He got hit hard. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. Fighters who are great like that, when they get hurt, they know how to, number one, keep their composure, and number two, use strategies to delay what their opponent can do to them while they hurt. Whether it's clinching, whether it's using the footwork, whether it's pushing off, anything and everything to delay the attack. But fighters who don't have that level, when they get hurt, they resort to instinct. And that's what Timmy does. You can't do that, bro. You can't. You already got stopped twice because of that. Not because of that, but that's part of it. El Rodriguez, Jaron Bum. Come on. You're talking about a unified welterweight champion. That's not a bump. Now you're exaggerating a little bit, El Rodriguez. Mr. KO, Floyd over Roy any day. He reigned on the pound for pound list. Roy longer than Roy. Yeah, I put Floyd Mayweather over Roy Jones Jr., but you know why I do that? If you think about it, or Mr. KO, you're a little bit younger, but go back and look at Roy Jones Jr. resume, right? And compare it with Floyd. Obviously, you're going to see more champions and more big names in Floyd's resume. Why? Because in the divisions that Roy Jones Jr. fought, for the most part, there wasn't a lot of big stars. So he didn't have as many options to face as many Hall of Famers as Floyd Mayweather. Why? Because Floyd Mayweather was, 135, 140, 147. The divisions where you had, a lot of big names, a lot of big stars. Meanwhile, Roy Jones Jr. fighting a guy that used to be a police officer and a guy that used to be a teacher. So, now, he did beat James Toney and beat Bernard Hopkins later in their career. Oh, no, I think he lost. He lost again. Did he lose the rematch too? He won the first fight. He beat Bernard Hopkins when they were both younger. So Roy Jones got some good wins in his resume. Some great wins. Let me rephrase that. I got to respect the GOAT. Roy Jones got some great wins in his resume. But he didn't have as many options, as many opponents as Floyd Mayweather to be seen as, higher in the pound for pound list all time. J Mags. It has to be something with him. It might be a pride thing with him, saying he's not going to clinch. I mean, it could be. But you want to get pummeled out there because you don't want to clinch? Come on now. Clinching, and it's like I told y'all, man. Clinching is a skill. There's an actual skill to clinching. Matter of fact, if you don't know how to clinch, you clinch your opponent, they still be punching you in the head and punching you all in your body. Still getting, you think you clinching and you out there getting lumped up. Y'all seen it. Y'all seen a fighter clinching, pop, 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 pop. What is you clinching, bro? You get lumped. So clinching is an art, my peoples. And you can see that Tszyu doesn't clinch. And when there's an exchange and he get hurt, he always take a lot of punishment. Be out there getting pummeled. Aroma sound, one tune-up should be good enough. I agree with you. Why would Jaron Boots Ennis say, I need 2 tune-ups before I face a big name? Bro, you're a world champion. You're a reigning champion. You know how many people move up to the next division right away for a title shot? Right away, boom. Here I am. I want a title shot right away. Straight up. If I start telling you the amount of people who moved up and fought for a title shot right away, I wouldn't finish. So, all I'm saying is that what Boots is doing is not showing greatness. That's all I'm saying. Now, his resume and how he fights, he is building towards greatness. Don't get it twisted, my peoples. I don't want y'all to confuse me with a Boots hater. That's one of my guys. But it doesn't come across as greatness because I've seen so many great fighters move up and challenge for a title shot right away. Look at Tito Trinidad. Tito Trinidad moved up from the welterweight division to 154 and challenged Olympic gold medalist, undefeated reigning champion David Reed. And Trinidad pummeled him. Dropped him multiple times, put all type of hands on him. He moved up again after that to challenge. And a lot of fighters. But I bring up Trinidad because he's viewed as an all-time great, right? And we see Jaron Boots Ennis as somebody who has the potential to be that, to be an all-time great. But he's not. That is not an all-time great move. I need 2 tune-ups before I can fight one of them dudes. Come on now. That's not it. I don't see it. Reaching for greatness is saying, yo, I'm going up and I'm beating all the big dogs. What's good? J. Will, Holyfield lost to John Ruiz. Roy went on to beat Ruiz. Yeah, my brother, but Holyfield lost to Ruiz when he was completely washed. By that point, Holyfield had already been beat up, had already been stopped. Bo had absolutely obliterated him. I got very good memory of that, my brother. John Ruiz beat a completely washed Evander Holyfield. Washed. So look what Roy Jones did. Because John Ruiz was a weak champion, bro. Think about that. He lost to Roy Jones, and what he do after that? Look what David Tua did to John Ruiz. In 20 seconds, absolutely obliterated him. And you can't judge his career for that knockout loss. I will say that. John Ruiz became the first Puerto Rican heavyweight champion of the world. So that's quite an accomplishment. You got to respect that. But he wasn't, a great fighter. He got himself in an opportunity where he got a good matchup, won, became a world champion. But he lost the world title. And then what after that? What of his career after that? Took multiple pummelings. Aroma. Boots is trying to settle in and dominate the entire division. I don't think he even really wanted to move up. I think he was forced to. Not Aroma Sound. You got it wrong. He definitely was not forced to. He was struggling to make weight. He was struggling to make 147. He couldn't make weight anymore, literally. That's why he's leaving. So make no mistake about it. Jaron Boots Ennis is a big guy, bro. He couldn't make weight anymore. That's what we're going to see him at 154. Look, what he really wanted to do was become an undisputed champion in the welterweight division. But he realized if he wanted that, he was going to have to stick around 1 or 2 more years. Why? Because first he was going to have to get one of, the Brian Norman Jr. fight. And then whoever was over there on the PBC side, he wasn't going to get that fight. He was going to have to wait for a PBC fighter to lose that title to somebody else for him to try to snatch it from them. Mr. K, Evander got some legendary names on his resume. Evander Holyfield. But then again, look, in that era, everybody was fighting everybody. Because one loss or 2 or 3 didn't mean that your career was over. There was no internet. There wasn't an internet fan base to bash a fighter every time they lose. That didn't exist. So everybody, look, Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, Riddick Bowe, all of these guys that were the guys were all fighting each other. All the big fights were getting made, and in the lower divisions too. Look at Oscar De La Hoya and Floyd Mayweather. They fought each other. Oscar De La Hoya, Tito Trinidad, they fought each other. Tito Trinidad went all the way up to fighting Roy Jones Jr. and Bernard Hopkins. Like, you just saw, man, the 90s was a beautiful era for boxing because of that. You know, not winning a fight didn't mean that your career was over. It didn't mean that you were a hype job. Da Manzana, if you got an offer right now to fight a young champion in any division you want at your age and have 16 weeks to prepare, will you do it? If the money's right, yes, I would do it. I would take a champion from the strawweight. Jamie Giblin, Tua. Oh my God, yo, David Tua was amazing, bro. David Tua was. That's one fight that got away from us. David Tua versus Mike Tyson. That one got away from us. I really wanted that fight because both of them have such similar style that it was gonna be a fight. I would say that's gonna be about who's gonna land the bomb first. That's it. David Tua versus Mike Tyson was a fight that could have ended in the first round, could have went the distance, but most likely ends in a brutal one-punch knockout. We never got that fight. However, my peoples, if you did not have the opportunity to watch David Tua versus the president, Ibeabuchi, please go watch that fight. And then you could thank me later. David Tua versus Ibeabuchi is the most brutal heavyweight fight that I have seen in my life. I've never seen such a brutal slugfest between two heavyweights. And I've seen a lot, my peoples. I've seen a lot of fights, heavyweight fights, where a fight broke out and it was just crazy. But Tua versus Ibeabuchi, man, listen. Listen, my people. That was just something crazy. Those of us who watched that fight got to witness history. I'm gonna play a little bit for y'all right now. Those of us who watched that fight, wow. I'm telling you, my people, like, this is one, it was like from round number 1. Hold on, let me see. I'm trying to get it so you guys can see the screen. It was like from round number 1 up until round number 12, they just kept going back and forth and landing big bombs after big bombs after. Nah, my peoples. I've seen a lot of great fights, a lot of action-packed fights. But David Tua versus Ibeabuchi, I've never seen a heavyweight showdown where both of them just kept landing bombs after bombs after bombs on each other. That was just crazy. And neither one of them would back down. They would just keep going forward. You could see the type of monster that David Tua was. You know, Ibeabuchi was the bigger fighter, like taller and bigger. And David Tua was like a huge version of a Tank Davis who just keep going, but more aggressive, who just keep going forward, put the head down and let them hands fly. My peoples, if you did not, Superman, I keep hearing about that one. My brother, please go watch it. David Tua versus Ibeabuchi. I'm telling you, my brother, I've been watching boxing since the early 90s. Talking about 30 years of boxing. And I've never seen a heavyweight showdown like this one, bro. Never. Never. Lion Hardy, Polypower. Jamie. Lion Hardy, Jamie. That record was beaten. Mr. KO. That's why I say David Tua beats Mike Tyson. It's possible, man, but you got to remember, if you look at Mike Tyson from that same age, he was actually more explosive than David Tua. Faster, more movement. But still, man, David Tua, the power, he was right there with Mike Tyson. The same knockout that Mike Tyson was going to give you, David Tua was going to bless you with. Brian Romero, I feel like Boots is not confident enough with his abilities. He turned down too many fights. I don't understand that, though. It doesn't make sense. Because we see his abilities inside the ring. So, J. Will, Tua had a ridiculous chin. Bro, I think 9 out of 10 of the shots he was eating from Ibeabuchi would have slept most fighters. People would have gone to sleep. And Tua just stood right in front of him. But Ibeabuchi too, man. He ate Tua's biggest shots. And still kept going forward. What a fight, my people. Mr. KO out of time until Ray Mercer obliterated his ass. John Parham, Tommy Morrison has some serious pop to it. Yeah, man. Tommy Morrison. The way that he got knocked out, though, I think that it changed him. Remember when he got brutally beat by Ray Mercer? For that beating that he took, I blame the referee. Because, damn, yo, he was on his out on his feet and took like 10 more punches with the referee just standing there, bro. He took a nasty one right there. John Parham, solid chin, but never took a hit like Tyson. Nah, I wouldn't say that he never took a hit like Tyson, John Parham. You know why? Yo, the president, Ibeabuchi, had that type of power, bro. This guy, if you look, matter of fact, I think he had a 100% KO percentage too. I think he knocked everybody out. Like Ibeabuchi had that type of power. And David Tua stood right there and ate all of them. All of them. Mr. KO, Ray beat him bad. That's the thing. You have to understand, my brother. Tua. Hold on. Who was it? Tell me again, Mr. KO. Who? Because I can't remember right now. Which one of them was it that Ray beat? John Parham. Mercer is so underrated. I think that Mercer is underrated because in his era, there was so many bigger stars than he was. You know, he fought in the same era as the Four Kings, the Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Leonard, Duran, Hagler. He fought around when Tyson was, early when Ali was coming in. Like, he fought in an era where there was a lot of big stars, and they just all overshadowed him, I think. Lion Hardy, Morrison was on the ropes. Damn, man, like, that was crazy. The way that he was taking those punches, boom, 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 and I don't know. And you know what? I'm gonna say something. That fight should have triggered a change in boxing rules. And I'll tell you what I think should happen from that fight. Heavyweight fighters, big guys like that, like above a certain division, you cannot referee the fight if you're 80 years old and like 5'3". No, you're not going to be the ref. Because it was the ref for that fight was that Cappuccino guy. I think Cappuccino's the last name. Very respected referee. Very respected. But he was an old guy. Small and old. How he was going to jump in between these two guys? This guy's throwing bombs. How this little old guy is going to jump in between that? He get hit with one of those punches, he's going to straight to the pearly gates. So I get it. I understand it. That he didn't react as fast as he should have. But Tommy Morrison took a nasty beating, my people. But we digressed. We digressed, my people. So, do you guys think that Jaron Boots Ennis is ducking Virgil Ortiz? Or you're cool with him saying, nope, I want tune-ups? That's not ducking? Because then we have to think about other fighters who had a fight on the table and chose not to take it. You have to say, okay, who's ducking and who isn't? Why some fighters, if they say I'm not gonna take that fight, they're ducking, but some fighters can do it and they're not ducking. What is exactly the logic behind that? Mr. KO, Mike Tyson ain't even want that smoke with Bo. I don't know that fight was ever on the table. Lion Hardy, Bo can dig deep when it gets dirty. Oh, Riddick Bowe was no joke, man. The one fight that we missed with Riddick Bowe that we never got was with Lennox Lewis. And that fight should have happened because for those of you who are old enough, you may recall that Riddick Bowe lost to Lennox Lewis in the Olympics. And it was a very controversial loss because Bowe got hit with a couple of shots and they just stopped it. I was like, what the hell just happened? Bowe wasn't hurt. He was ready to keep going. He was like, what happened? But yeah, Lennox Lewis got that win over Riddick Bowe in the Olympics. I think it was the gold medal match. I think it was to get the gold medal, if I'm not mistaken. And so when they were both professionals, you expected that they would meet up, that it was going to happen. And finally, Riddick Bowe got a title. It's like, oh shit, it's about to go down. Riddick Bowe got a title. Lennox Lewis become his mandatory. Oh shit, it's going to happen. Look it up, the famous picture of Riddick Bowe holding his, I think it was the WBC belt over a garbage can. Like that. He relinquished the title and chose not to fight Lennox Lewis. And that's it. The fight never happened. They never fought. Lion Hardy, Lennox would have smashed him. We'll never know. We could assume, but we'll never know. I really wanted to see that fight, man. Jay Jones, Boo's not ducking. He's trying to maximize his earnings. Well, Jay Jones, if you're saying he's trying to maximize his earnings, he'll make a lot more money by fighting Virgil than he'll make with those tune-ups. So you will maximize your earnings a lot more by fighting a big name. Shy Guy, Pat have 0 tune-up and fought for a title. This new generation boxer don't want to get the L's like Boots. I was just saying that earlier, my guy. Manny Pacquiao came off of 6 years of inactivity and went straight for a reigning champion. Terrence Bud Crawford is moving up 2 divisions. He's going straight for the reigning champion, for the face of boxing. The underdog, where everybody say he's going to lose. How many? There's been a lot of world champions who move up and go straight for a world champion. That's why earlier I brought up Tito Trinidad. From the welterweight division, he moved up to 154 to fight undefeated Olympian gold medalist David Reed. That's reaching for greatness. Good morning. Ooh, wow, Ryan. That's a nice exercise you're doing over there. You come say hi to the people. Oh, you want to shoot with the lights? Okay. Come say good morning to the people, Ryan.
Good morning.
They didn't see you. Come on. Yeah. Ryan says good morning, my peoples. Mr. K, I remember that pic, you see? So he chose not to fight Lennox Lewis. I love you. Go with your mommy. The people said, what's up, Ryan? Jay Jones, good morning. Good morning, Jay Jones. Appreciate you dropping it. Y'all already know what this is, my peoples. Boxing for breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. I'm giving you this breakfast for free. Y'all don't need to duck that like button the same way that Tank Davis is ducking Shakur. Tank ducking Shakur, y'all ducking that like. And neither one of those two things need to happen. John Parham, hell of a kid. Appreciate it, my brother. Young champ, good morning. You heard that Mr. KO saying what's up. Superman, hit those Lizzies. I'm saying, though, my peoples. I'm saying, though, hit that like. I don't know if there's somebody up in here mad that I'm saying Jaron Boots Ennis is not looking good, asking for 2 tune-ups. But I'm going to tell y'all what right now, I'm not a Boots hater. I'm not. If you know me long enough, then you know I'm a fan of Boots. I think that's the difference between me and a lot of people who do boxing, right? Me, if you one of my fighters and you doing something that I'm not really with it, I'm gonna be honest and I'm gonna tell ya. I'm not just gonna find a way to always back it up, always support it. If I'm not with it, I will say, I tell you what I think from a business perspective and as an analyst. From a business perspective, I say, you know what, makes sense. Get 2 easy paydays. It's not going to be hard work. You're not going to go through wars and get hit with a lot of big shots. Get those 2 easy wins first, and then get the big fight. Makes sense. Cool. But from a fan's perspective, because I'm a fan of boxing too, from those eyes, I'm like, damn, you're supposed to be a special fighter. You're supposed to be one of the best of this generation. You're supposed to be a future all-time great. So I'm expecting you to shoot for the top, like I've seen other all-time greats, like I've seen other world champions move up to the next division and shoot for a title right away. Boom, won a title shot. We saw Terrence Crawford move from 147 straight to Madrimov for a world title shot. And now he's going to jump up 2 divisions for a title shot versus Canelo Alvarez. So we see that you're reaching for greatness. When Boots says, I want 2 tune-ups, you're not reaching for greatness. You're padding up the resume and getting some money. But you're not reaching for greatness. I will say, though, he doesn't have to reach for greatness right now. He can get the 2 tune-ups and then start fighting the big dogs. Cool. But at least right now, Jaron Boots Ennis is not reaching for greatness. That's all I'm saying. Soul Sing Drama. Talks about Pac and Barrios. Yo, Manny Pacquiao was impressive as hell. And I've been saying it. I've been trying to tell people, Manny Pacquiao, yes, he's 46 years old, but guess what? He's a guy who takes care of his body, who still has that speed, who is very dedicated to the sport of boxing. He wasn't going to show up to be slow, to just get beat up. I actually was betting on Manny. Not betting, I didn't place a bet, but I predicted that Manny Pacquiao was going to win this fight. And he came close. I thought he edged it out, but it was a very close fight. Some of the rounds, I know Barrios, Pac-Man tried to steal him at the end. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. So I'm okay with a draw, because at the end of the fight, I said, look, this fight could go either way. I'm not sure who won it. So a draw, I'm okay with it. I respect it. Soul Sing Drama. Second about Pac versus Barrios. I'm telling you, it was a good competitive fight. I think Barrios, though, showed a little bit too much respect. Ozzy, it been clipped, though. I mean, almost everybody been clipped. At one point or another, almost everybody been clipped during their career. So, Ozzy, when you say it been clipped in multiple fights, very few people that you could say they haven't. Lion Hardy, what's your thoughts on Terra Moana upcoming heavy? Woo! Terra Moana. Yo, he's going to be a menace. He a dangerous fighter. Lots of power. Lets his hands go. Likes to trade. Tall. Got a lot of reach. Terra Moana, I believe is going to become a world champion. I can tell you that right now. He's going to become a world champion. That he's Samoan too, strong as hell. Nah, he going to be a champion. You got that Samoan power. Armando Rosado, salute, champ from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico in the building. Armando, salute, my brother. Appreciate you dropping in. J. Will, Moses Itama KO Dylan White in 3 rounds in August. It's time for him to get a Parker, Caballero, or even Usyk next. Moses is #1 ranked for WBO and #2 with WBA. I don't think Itama is ready for Usyk yet. I think he will lose that fight. He will get outboxed. maybe even get made to look bad. Um, I like something that Frank Warren said the other day. He said, we could have already had a title shot. We could have pursued a title shot with Italma. But instead, we see such great talent in him that we're choosing to fully get him in this development process to maximize that potential. I agree with him 100%. I think Italma, I like a fight with someone at a bit lower level to see where he's at. For example, somebody who you know is a good fighter and is dangerous, Big Bang Zhang. Okay, Itama, can you hang with him? If you can hang with him, then we're gonna get you Usyk. You know, he needs one of those fighters who's fought for titles, who's been at that level. Show us what you can do with him. JJ Strap, Manny got robbed. I don't think he got robbed, my brother. And I tell you why. The fight was so close. I thought Manny edged it out. But when that last bell rang, I was calling it and I told people, I'm not sure who won, my peoples. This could go to Manny, this could go to Barrios. It could go either way because there was a lot of rounds that just you're not sure how to score it. Think about the rounds where Barrios was putting hands on Pacquiao, but then in the last 30 seconds, Pacquiao landed some real good punches. Pop, 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 pop. Do you give that round to Pac-Man over that outburst that he had at the end? Or do you say, no, that wasn't enough, Barrios got it? So there was some rounds that it was very hard to score them for the judges, I'm sure of it. I say I'm good with a draw. I'm good with a draw. I say the fight was, when a fight is that close, it's not a robbery. Bam. Es un buen ejercicio. Dame, hold on, my people. Hold on, Ryan. Enséñale a ellos cómo es. Look at the footwork. The foot. See the Ali shuffle already in full effect? Mira, Lito. Little. My peoples, be patient with me. I gotta take my... Ooh, good stuff. Hold on. Give me a second, my people. I gotta take my son downstairs. Pero que I have to practice so I can learn. I have to practice. You already know how to do it. You practice already.
Yo lo practico.
Yeah, I have to practice too. Because I have to practice. But I'm gonna learn. Are you gonna teach me? No. Para allá. Mr. K, I'm still rage baiting Pacquiao fans. Oh man, don't do him like that. Talking about Barrios won. Boxing on paper, Mr. K. He's gonna be avoided. I actually would love to see him versus Hrgovic and Caballero. What do you guys think, man? Somebody brought it up earlier, man, about Jaron Boots Ennis. Ya, entre tú. Lo dijiste muy tarde, amor. Dame subirlo.
Papá, yo grito.
¿Tú gritaste? I love you. No lo demos rápido, Ray. I love you.
Bye, Papa.
Bye, I love you. Third Ferguson. Serrano got robbed. Man, I don't know what you're talking about. Serrano got pummeled. How could you even say that? Superman. You're going to have to be doing that Ali Shuffle versus Crackhead with the fridge. Man, you don't even know. Crackhead with the fridge, man. He got this whole neighborhood going mad already. That's like we got our own neighborhood Pookie right now. James Moore, Jaron Boots, and it's still going to destroy Ortiz. Body shot, TKO. Look, bro, the only problem with what you saying, James, is that you believe in Boots, but it's looking like Boots don't believe in Boots right now, bro. So I don't know. You telling me what Boots is gonna do to Virgil, but Boots don't believe he could do that to Virgil right now. Let that shit marinate, my brother. Ozzy, damn. That engine sound got me reminiscent of old times in Colombia. They are saying, tenía yeso en las manos. It's true, people are talking. Look for that, Jay Smith. That's fake news, my brother. Super, super fake news. Eso de que de yeso en la mano. And I'm disappointed because you don't realize it, but listen to what I'm going to tell you. When you say they are saying that, it's literally Edgar Berlanga's wife and Edgar Berlanga's peoples spreading that fake news around. Like, that is fake news. And to be honest, I'm going to tell you guys right now, the reason Edgar Berlanga, his wife and his family and people, you know, the reason they spreading that is because the embarrassment that this fight was. You know, you had Edgar Berlanga acting like a bully, going like this to Hamza Shiraz, like he's pointing a gun at him, you know, saying all type of disrespectful stuff, and I'm going to break your face and all this. So he got pummeled so badly. He's like the bully who got bullied in the ring. And the embarrassment from that, all they could do is try to now say that he cheated. So my people, look, let me put that rumor to bed right now. The Hamza Shiraz hand wraps. Let me put that rumor to bed right now. Cause I seen a lot of YouTubers talking about it too. People who just love. Remember, folks, there's people on YouTube that they're doing videos just to get views. That's it. They're saying stuff only to convince you guys to watch. Only to get you to click on that video and watch it. That's it. Not because it's true. So I'm going to tell you something about that fight. Number one, when the fight finished, I seen people saying the Hamza Shiraz hand wraps that nobody saw them. Right? I want you to go look at the video, my peoples. When the fight finished, right before they announced, they called the two fighters to raise the hand and whatever. You can actually see when they were cutting off Hamza Shiraz's wrap. You can see when they were cutting it off. And what happens is the commission is going to take it to make sure that they have it in case there's an investigation and they need to review it. They need to see it. So I want you to think about this. How is it possible that Hamza Shiraz had illegal hand wraps if Edgar Berlanga's team gets to be present when he's getting his hands wrapped? His team is present when they're signing the wraps, and then they are present at the end of the fight when with a scissor they cutting the wrap off of his hand and removing it. Throughout the whole process, Edgar Berlanga's team is there. You're saying that the wrap is tampered with because how you think it looks? Look, it doesn't look like it's been through a fight. That shit sounds crazy to me. So that's a little fake news generated by the Edgar Berlanga camp because he took such a nasty beating that they can't even accept it. That's what you call, this is like the definition of a sore loser. To make up a whole fake story because you couldn't handle that baiting that you got. What a sore loser, you know. So not only did they look bad before the fight, the way they was acting, Edgar Berlanga talk about, I'm the superstar here, I'm the superstar. Made himself the villain. Now the villain get his ass whooped. People not gonna have sympathy for you. People don't give a damn. So my peoples, the stuff about, oh no, you know, Shiraz, the hand wraps, my peoples, kill that. Please kill that. Don't allow a fake news to be spread just because people can't handle that Berlanga got pummeled. He got pummeled, that's all it was. That's it. He fought the better fighter, number one, and number two, he isn't as good as you think he is. That's it. That's just the reality. I'm just telling y'all the truth. Mr. KO, she made that up. Of course she made that up. But I seen a couple of YouTubers that's funny as hell because they told the story to spread their fake narrative. I seen a YouTuber, and I'm not gonna name anybody. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not trying to hate on nobody like that. But yo, I seen a YouTuber say, yo, the hand wraps, it's weird because nobody saw what happened with the hand wraps. Nobody knows what happened with the hand wraps. So when you say stuff like that, it already builds, you know, that doubt in people's mind. Wow, if nobody know what happened with the hand wraps, then maybe. And then you watch the video of the fight and you literally see when they cutting the hand wrap off of his hand and taking it. You see it. So, Hamza Shiraz beat Virgil Ortiz simply because he's the better fighter. That's it. I mean, Hamza Shiraz beat Edgar Berlanga simply because he's the better fighter. That's it. There's no conspiracy. There was no cheating. There was nothing other than a straight beatdown. That's it. What a beatdown, yo. Jesus Christ, that was a nasty beating. You know what? Maybe Boots saw that beating and got scared of the one, got cold feet with the 154 division. Like, damn, look at this beating this guy took. Oh no, that was a one. That wasn't a no 154. But Boots is moving up. He might be like, damn, moving up is no joke. Look at this guy out there getting pummeled. John Parham, now people saying Jake wants smoke with Usyk. I mean, you saw they allowed him to do a little face-off with Usyk, which to me was disturbing and disrespectful to boxing. How do you allow Jake Paul to face off in the ring with a reigning undisputed heavyweight champion? Yo, the shenanigans is out of hand at this point. Third, Ferguson, I'm Boricua, and didn't even support Berlanga. Yo, since you say that, I'ma just bring, well, you're Boricua, but are you Boricua like from Puerto Rico or you live in the U.S.? Because there's Puerto Ricans from New York telling me, man, I don't even know that dude like that. I heard he the king of New York. I'm like, who? What are you talking about? He the king of New York. Like, people in New York don't say that shit. I don't know how he auto-designated himself the king of New York. Love more Hinduism. Jake won one round. John Parham, I like Berlanga, but he needs to chill and focus on boxing. I agree with you 100%, man. He needs to stop trying to play this character, this villain, this tough guy in front of the cameras. Be an athlete. Be a professional. Ozzy, Shiraz is the king of New York. Everyone knows it. Well, if you really think about it, based off of Edgar Berlanga's logic, Hamza Shiraz is now the king of New York. He took him down, right? Did what he had to do. Mr. KO, this is like the second time. His corner denied them to cut off the left hand wrap. Nah, that's a lie. Corner didn't deny anything. That's a lie. You see, that's what I say, Mr. KO. People make stuff up out of thin air to make it fit what they want to believe. Let me show you. Let me show you what actually happened because that's not true that they denied anything. What actually happened is that they were cutting it fast, and as they cut it, what happened? They were gonna announce exactly. So what do you see happening? They cut off the first one, and they're about to announce the winner, and he goes, and they had already took it from him, and he goes, so they could announce the winner. They didn't deny. Nah. This one, we got to keep this one. Send it to me. Send it. But I want you to also think about this. I want you to think about this, Mr. Cayo. You're a boxer. Do you imagine having an illegal wrap in one hand? Try to you imagine it as a fighter. Yeah, send that to me on IG. Try to you as a fighter having something in one hand that you don't have in another hand. So this hand weighed more than this one. How do you think that would feel as a fighter? Because if you're suggesting, right, you're saying they denied the rap, there's a video, so hypothetically, I haven't seen the video, let's say that they denied the rap. So what you're suggesting is that that one rap was tampered with. So the fighter had one rap that would have been heavier than the other. Jake, that wouldn't be conductive. I'm trying to tell you. Does it really make sense? If you ever put on a pair of gloves and you punch it, you trade a leather with somebody, you're going to be handicapped as hell if one arm is heavier than the other. You imagine trying to throw a combination where you have a weight in one hand that's slow and then this one is fast? Pfft. My goodness. Mr. Cayo, I don't think he cheated though. And I'm not taking up for Berlanga. Mr. Cayo, I got you. But you haven't told me, Mr. Cayo, how do you think you would feel? I'm saying you haven't answered that. If right now you put on a hand wrap with cast in one hand, and then you put a real one in the other one, how will you feel? When you throw a combination and this hand is heavier than this one. So this one is fast, and this one is a little bit heavier because of the extra weight. I mean, no. Do you think you could fight effectively like that? So the hand wrap stuff, that was made up and spread around. Imagine, yo, it's Edgar Berlanga's wife. It's a bunch of people in there. It's not just Berlanga's wife or Berlanga's family or Berlanga's team. And it's not just Hamza Shiraz's team. There's a lot of people involved in this. And the only one talking about raps, the wife and Berlanga team right after he got pummeled. Meanwhile, there's the notion that possibly one rap could be tampered with. And that shit doesn't even make no sense at all. Edgar Berlanga just got beat up and became another one of these fighters who just couldn't take that loss without having some type of excuses. It's either with fighters like that, like Berlanga, who they try to play that bully role, they try to play the bad guy. When they get beat up like that, it's usually or they weren't physically, something was wrong with them, or, you know, the other guy cheated. He had to cheat. Mr. Cayo, hell yeah, you can. Your jab and main hook with an extra kick, knowing your lead hand is already strong. I'm not saying that you can't, my brother. I'm not saying that you can't. How effective are you really going to be? You're not. Mr. Cayo, if you tell me that with one hand heavier than the other, you're going to be effective, you're lying to yourself because you box, you know. Even if you're saying this hand is stronger behind it, but still, how do you do a 1, 2, 3 with a heavier hand? How do you do a 1, 2, 3, 4 with a heavier hand? It's not happening. Not to mention when you have that you know, you're unbalanced. You have this side heavy, this side light. You're gonna feel that, bro. You're acting like that's not gonna have an effect on your body, and even psychologically, it is. Raw dog. It's pure speculation, no proof, and can be proven after L. Pure speculation. And the thing about pure speculation is that people always speculate in their favor. Those who wanted Berlanga to win, they're the ones speculating that. Most people don't even buy the hand wrap shit. Look, most people not even talking about it. You don't see people talking about that shit. We're talking about it. But the reason we're talking about it is because fans don't want to accept that he just got beat up. Huevo. But it's customary for a fighter to leave one hand wrap. Honestly, we have to look into that. But if he was able to just leave one, obviously that's not a problem. Because if he broke some type of rule, then you would have seen whether it's some discipline action, whether it's, some type of hearing, whether it's, we would have seen news about it. If you can't do it, we would have seen news about it. We haven't, right? There you have it right there. Jacob, and all of the cameras and 2 reps in the ringside, and 3 judges, the persons representing the NY Boxing Commission. Bro, I want you to think about this so you can see how crazy that logic even is. Edgar Berlanga's right there when Hamza Shiraz was getting his hands wrapped. You think that you can wrap 2 hands differently and have somebody watching you and not notice it? Because that's what we're suggesting. We're suggesting the possibility that Edgar Berlanga's team was right there and they put one good hand wrap and another one with some type of something in it, and they looked identical to each other. Really? What type of invisible substance they put on that hand wrap? Because they both look identical. When they took his gloves off, you did see both hand wraps. They look identical. So one was tampered with and one wasn't. But they look the same. Now you go ahead and tamper with anything and tell me that you're going to leave it looking the same as when it was original. So I could call you a liar right now. When you tamper with something, it's not going to look the same. Because it's tampered with. Whatever it is. Last warning, Jay Smith. How you doing, brother? Last warning, man. Doing good. We talking boxing, so you know it. You know we doing good, my guy. Appreciate you dropping in, brother. Mr. KO. He KO'd Berlanga with hooks. My God, with some nasty shots. And the left did a lot more damage. Well, you do know that Hamza Shiraz is a lefty, right? He's a southpaw. The left is supposed to do more damage. He's a southpaw throwing a looping shot. Come on now. Like, Mr. KO, I think you fight orthodox, right? What's going to be harder, your left hook or a looping right hand coming from the outside? That's your power shot, bro. Of course you're going to hit harder. Raw dog, sometimes your hand hurt, so you leave the wrap on or you have issues cutting it off. So do it in the locker. I think the most common, because it takes some time, I think the most common one is that by the time they pull off your gloves, they're already calling you to announce the winner. They're in a hurry, so at least one has to go to the commission. I know that both don't have to go because they didn't have a problem with it. So in the process of, that's why you see that sometimes my people, the fighter might even go to get his hand raised with one glove still on. Because they was doing it so fast, by the time they called them up, they didn't have time to remove it. So if you watch the fight, if you watch the video, which Mr. KO is going to send me, what I remember from it is that they cut off the wrap, and as they was cutting off the wrap, they was already calling him to announce him. So he took it off, the commissioner, whoever took it, and he went and they announced the winner. And we're making this whole conspiracy, but it was just one wrap. So he might have something on the other wrap. Like, my goodness, man. That's why social media, my people, is toxic. Because social media will make something up out of thin air and spread it into the whole world. Spread it into the boxing universe. And have a lot of people believing it. When it was literally made up with not one shred of evidence to support it. Simply, Berlanga was being a bully during training camp. He was the bad guy that was going to stop Shiraz. And he got absolutely pummeled. So now you want to say the guy cheated. Come on, man. Come on. Cuevo. I hate Berlanga. Is that Berlanga's a guy that's easy to hate because the way that he represents himself. He's the guy, he's the bully. He's the guy that's throwing his money in the people's face. He's the guy that's saying, I'm more than you. I'm more famous than you. I'm the star over here. So it's easy to not like him, to enjoy seeing him getting knocked out. I'm not going to say I watched him getting knocked out. I did, but not because it's Berlanga. Anybody's going to enjoy watching a knockout, right? Go get the money. You're Jay Smith. What's the vibes? My G. Bam. Edgar Berlanga, my brother. You know, got knocked out, pummeled, and now his wife spreading the news all over the world about how the hand wraps were tampered. And that one of the hand wraps may have been tampered with. Like, that shit don't even make no sense. At all. No sense. Mr. K, this ain't about Berlanga. It's the fact that he did this before Berlanga and only the guy's right side of the face was swollen. Nah. You're talking conspiracies, Mr. K. You're talking conspiracies. You're getting hit with a big left hand a lot. The side of your face that's swollen, that don't mean anything. Cuevo, 100%. It's like I say, my people, when somebody grabs a conspiracy and spread it, it's easy to grab it and run with it. Because you're talking about what could have happened, right, Mr. Ko? Well, you know, this could have happened because we don't know. But let's talk about what did happen, what we know happened. What do we know? Well, Edgar Berlanga had somebody from his team when Hamza Shiraz was wrapping his hands right there. So they wrapped Shiraz's hand in front of Berlanga's team illegally, and they didn't notice. He didn't notice. The guy that they had on there didn't notice. That's number one. Number two, there was more people there. Nobody noticed anything about the wraps. That one was different than the other. And then number three, we saw him wearing both hand wraps. We saw when they removed the gloves off his hands. A tampered hand wrap looked identical to a normal hand wrap? I think not. I think all of the facts of what we saw with our own eyes suggest that Edgar Berlanga simply got beat up by a better fighter. That's it. The conspiracies, that don't mean anything. Raw dog, Dev's right side of jaw was swollen. Why? Because he had a broken jaw. I mean, I don't know. I guess we could say Ryan Garcia had wraps too or something. But Devin Garcia ate some monster shots. That's why. If you listen, it really only take one shot to mess up your face. The right shot have your face looking like this. Be looking like a Ninja Turtle out there. Face all swole up. One shot. But it's not always going to land. People not always going to land that shot. And everybody doesn't have the power to hurt somebody that way. My peoples. Again, we digress. Raw dog. That's right side of jaw. Yeah. His right side of his jaw was like that because Ryan Garcia has one of the deadliest left hooks in boxing, bro. He caught him with that joint repeatedly and brutally. Mr. KO was good, Mr. KO. I don't see that video that you're talking about. Where you at? I don't see it. You talk about you got me with the video. I don't see it. Jacob, hopeful, if you get the time, genuinely want to hear you on that. Because for real, I had it just like the first judge, Jay Smith, like the first judge. I forgot how the first judge had it. Tell me how the first judge had it, my guy. Let me know. Mr. K, I'm waiting for that video, man. What's up? Calling your bluff out here. You say you was calling my bluff, I'm calling your bluff. Let me know where that video. I got my Instagram open right now. And my peoples, by the way, my peoples, every week there's gonna be 1 or 2 days where I go live, and anybody who wants to join the show and give your predictions, give your take, trash talk, the floor is gonna be open for you to for you to hop on. Jacob, J. Smith, who were you referring to, my brother? Peter Gunner, hello from Czech Republic. Yo, Peter Gunner, bam, appreciate you dropping in. Shout out to everyone from the Czech Republic who has come to check out Box Center. Yo, I really appreciate y'all, man. Y'all in the other side of the world. I don't know how y'all finding me or how I'm showing up on your live feed or whatever. But, yo, Peter Gunner, I appreciate you tuning in, my brother. Jacob Hopeful, 7-5. Okay, that's a good score. That's a reasonable score. It was a close enough fight. Jeremy Ortiz, I'm from Philly. Boots need 1 fight at 154. Salute, Jeremy Ortiz. Bam. Look, I'm going to tell you what. Honestly, I don't think he need a fight at no 154. Me personally. I'm not rocking with that. I'm not rocking with the tune-up for Boots. And I'm going to tell you why. I hold him to a higher standard. We think that Boots has what it takes to be greatness, right? I think you will agree with me, Jeremy. He has what it takes to become a great fighter, to even be an all-time great. Look at Tito Trinidad. He moved up from 147 to 154 right away to fight none other than Olympic gold medalist, undefeated reigning champion, David Reed. And Trinidad beat him. Manny Pacquiao moved up right away to face a champion coming off of inactivity. 6 years of inactivity, going straight for a reigning champion. Bud Crawford moved up to 154, went straight for Madrimov. Moving up to division, straight for Canelo. So if we really think Boots is him, why he need a tune-up for? You're him. We've seen great fighters move up and fight the best right away, or fight champions right away. Why you need 2 tune-ups, or even 1, if you are him? So this is all I'm saying. And I am a Jaron Boots Ennis fan. Everybody who knows me knows this. You can wait for later to reach for greatness. If he wants to get in 2 tune-ups and he does that first, and he fights Virgil Ortiz and Bakra Mutasaliev and some champions, then he'll be reaching for greatness later down the line. Cool. But right now, a tune-up is not reaching for greatness. A tune-up is not going to boost your resume in any shape, way, or form. It's going to pad it. It's going to give you another win to put on there. But you're not going to be reaching for greatness. The word greatness, let's leave it out of the conversation. When we're talking about you doing a tune-up, we got to be fair. Raw Dog. Boot lacks the belief in self. I can't say that, my brother, because we don't know what Boots believe. You know, getting into somebody's mind and saying what they believe, that's hard to do that. I don't do that because I don't really know why he's doing it. Slide and counter. Facts. Trinidad, De La Hoya, Whitaker, Leonard, all 4 champions. First fight at 154 from 147. But that's what I'm talking about, my guy. That when you talk about an all-time great, you're expecting them to be that. You're not expecting a great fighter to say, nah, I need a tune-up first. Can't do that like that. I would understand it if Boots is coming off of a year of inactivity. Then I would say, wait a minute, he's been inactive. Hold on. Korea Kuliner. Hello from Indonesia. Ooh, Korea Coolier. Bam, salute. I really appreciate you dropping in. And I'm just going to say, man, I don't know how I'm getting so much support from Indonesia. I've been seeing a lot of people tuning in. Hey, from Indonesia, I'm here. It's like, what? That's why boxing, my people, is such a beautiful sport, man. Like, I'm still, small right now. A lot of people don't know me yet, but there's people tuning in from Indonesia, from Russia, from the Netherlands, from Australia, from all over the world. That's crazy. From Mexico. I appreciate every one of you. Yo, chat, for real, man. I really appreciate you guys. Ooh, Nastia, hello from Russia. Russia's in the building. I gotta visit Russia one day. Gotta visit Russia. Gotta visit all these countries. By the way, look, it's 36 of us right now, my peoples. Look, I want to do a quick test. I want to do a quick test. If you're here, it's 36 of us. Please don't leave before I do this quick test that I want to do. It's 8 o'clock in the morning here in the Dominican Republic. And I'm interested in seeing where you guys are right this very moment. I know some of you guys told me where you are, but I'm going to ask you right now, my peoples, to everybody here, please, just type in what country you're in right now in the chat. I want to know where you guys at. I myself, I'm in the Dominican Republic, and right now it's 8 o'clock in the morning sharp. Where you watching Box Center from? I've seen people tuning in from different parts of the world this early in the morning. I want to know where you guys are at. I know a lot of people tune in from the U.S. The majority of the viewers are from USA. But I know there's people that are watching from different parts of the world, man. And I'm excited about that. I'm impressed. And I really appreciate you guys. Real talk. Jacob from Vegas. Ooh, Vegas is in the building. Clifton Rose, USA. Go Get the Money, USA. Rodo, Southern California. Super Dim, India. India's in the building. The USA is in the building. Cuervo, Puerto Rico, 8 a.m. Super Dim, India. So you see right now we have India, Puerto Rico, and USA in the building. Whoa. The Green Thumb, USA, DC. Ooh, DC's in the building, my people. Yo, let me know what city you at. Jose Chavez, Antarctica. Stop playing, Jose Chavez. Come on, man. Come on. I could tell you somewhere in El Paso, Texas. We already know that. Super Dim, 5:31 p.m. in India, nighttime. Right now, it's 8 in the morning, my brother. We just starting our day here in the Dominican Republic. Slide Encounter, USA, 8 a.m. Slide Encounter, what city you in, my G? Jacob, Hopeful, and Dominican Republic. Carrier Culinar, Indonesia, 7 p.m. Ooh, Carrier, I really appreciate you tuning in. I'm in Dominican Republic. You're in Indonesia, but we both love boxing. That's what we hear. Jacob, because of you, went in this together. Brutal. Brutal, my peoples. Look, the reason why we're in Box Center from all over the world is because we want people who know boxing to talk boxing with. That's it right there. You tuning into somebody who you know. Listen, I'm not going to toot my own horn here, but I know a little shine about boxing. And you know that you can engage, debate, go back and forth, and it's going to be good boxing conversation. Ooh, Green Ranger, 7:02 a.m. from Texas. Texas is in the building, my peoples. Slide Encounter, Hartford, Connecticut. Super Dim, I like boxing, brother. It's cool. Man, listen. Not Super Dim. Let me fix that for you. You don't like boxing. You love boxing. That's why you're here. That's the reason why. The people who just like boxing, when there's a big fight, they'll tune in and watch it. But the people who love boxing, they join in the debates. They know what's going on, who's going to fight, who's ducking who. Everybody in here knows that Tank Davis is ducking Shakur. You guys know it. I know it. We all know it. Go Get the Money. 7 p.m. in Indonesia. Whoa, it's nighttime. Right now, in Tokyo, it's like 8 at night. Like 8 p.m. No, in... What's the name? In Singapore. Right now in Singapore, it's 8 o'clock at night. Super Dim. I use boxing sometime in street fight. Whoa. Super then be out in the streets like, my peoples, we digressed. We have digressed from the main topic of conversation. Is Jaron Boots Ennis ducking Virgil? Tell me, my peoples, is Jaron Boots Ennis ducking Virgil? Is he? Is he not? Nah, John Power, you don't think he is? You don't think he's ducking Virgil? Okay, so do you think it's good to do a tune-up? A guy who we say is a special fighter and one of the best, a generational fighter. Are you okay with him saying, I want a tune-up first? I need a tune-up. I always purposely look for street fights during the weekend. I walk downtown and give the toughest looking guy a dirty look. That's not gonna always work out for you, man. Not gonna always work out. You might end up on the losing end of a devastating blow. Super Dim, I copied his boxing. John Parham, I think he need one tune-up. It's fair. So, I mean, I'm not saying that one tune-up is not fair. All I'm saying is, how special really are you if you need a tune-up? Because there's a lot of special fighters who did not need one. Went up, boom, right away. So how great are you really going to be if you need that? Sliding counter, where his framing abilities and his shouldn't need a tune-up. Come on, Jaron Boots Ennis is big as hell. He a big dude. And I know for a fact that he be sparring with 154 pounds, 160 pounds. He be sparring with big dudes. Jacob, hell no. You may not be aware, but Virgil's supposed to be getting a tune-up too. And Boots, I think, just had a surgery, if I'm not mistaken. But I could be wrong. Nah, Boots ain't have no surgery. You're saying that Virgil is supposed to have a tune-up, but what you're not understanding, my brother, is that His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh already offered the fight to Boots, and he declined it. He already said, we got Virgil for you. That fight could have been made. Virgil is willing to fight Boots. He's been willing to fight him. Tunnel vision. Why would you assume a stranger is going to use his hand to fight you? A stranger is going to use... that's why I say it's not a good idea to just go around looking to fight strangers. You never know who's going to do what. That's all I'm saying. Raw dog. Turkey offered Boots the Virgil fight twice already, and he declined it. Jose Chavez. Virgil beats everyone at 154. We got to see. We got to see. Tell him to fight Bakram. I want to see Bakram Murtasaliev fight either Virgil or Boots. Yeah? Fight him and show me. Because, look, me, myself, even though a lot of people saying that Boots ducked Virgil, me personally, I feel like that fight needs to be marinated a little bit more. Have at least one of them be a world champion before they fight each other. Cuervo, I say he need a B-level opponent as a tune-up. It's just that he's had a huge layoff, and he better not look bad. Nah, bro, Boots hasn't had a huge layoff, bro. Boots didn't fight that long ago. Look, let me show you. Let me show you. Ennis box recs. Jose Chavez, Marne PPB is over. Cuervo, I say he need a B-level. Look, let me show you something, Cuervo. Look, I'm in Jaron Boots Ennis' box rack. Y'all know how I do, my people. I don't like to make stuff up or just assume. No. Boots fought, bro, in December. I mean, in April. Boots fought in April of this year, my guy. That was 3 months ago. What layoff are we talking about here? That was 3 months ago that he fought. So, and then, hold on. And Virgil fought 5 months ago. 4 months ago. So, there is no layoff. They could have fought each other next. And Boots had the opportunity to make that happen. He chose not to. So it's like I said, look, okay, I understand that he's moving up. But how many fighters can we name who moved up and went straight for the big guns? So Boots is not special enough to do that. He's not good enough to move up and boom, take down a champion. Like we seen Floyd do it. We seen Crawford do it. We seen Pacquiao do it. We seen De La Hoya do it. We seen all the old-time greats do it. Boots can't do it. I don't know. Jacob, that I do agree. Turkey did, and yet still, I don't know. Boots ain't never been the type to turn down big name or fights. I'll go on a limb and give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt too. Because at the end of the day, boxing is a business. And if you get a tune-up or two, you're going to make money on easier fights before putting yourself out there. But as a fan of boxing, strictly is not a good look for me. Because you've been, the guy. So when you move up, you don't feel like the guy no more. Now you're like, oh, okay, now that I'm here, I got to start over. I got to get to know myself once again. Huh? You're the guy, bro. We see guys who are at your level move up and go after the big gun. We seen Terrence Crawford. How many people wasn't saying that before fighting Canelo, Terrence Crawford should have took a tune-up, maybe even took a tune-up at 160. He went 2 divisions straight up for the face of boxing. It don't get more reaching for greatness than that. So is Boots reaching for greatness when he's fighting a tune-up? Some guy that we never heard of who has no chance? No, he's not going to be reaching for greatness. For his next fight, if he does get that tune-up, he's not going to be reaching for greatness. But he's only 28 years old. He could do that later down the line. But I will say, when you talk about great fighters, you have to compare them with other great fighters. And if you make the comparison, Boots is not looking so great right now. That tune-up shit, he's not looking like a great fighter. Raw Dog, facts are facts. He turned down 2 offers to fight Virgil. And you may recall that there was a point where people were saying that it was Virgil ducking Boots. Oh, now Virgil's ducking because Boots is going to destroy him. It turns out the whole time it's Boots that don't want to fight Virgil. But I will say there's a business aspect in boxing. That's why I don't want to say straight up Boots is ducking. No, it's business. But as a fan, I want to see the best fight the best. He had the opportunity to do it and chose not to. Chose not to. Hey, Abby, random thought, but in my opinion, amateur boxing needs drug tests. No, there's drug tests for amateur boxing, but not enough. There should be more. Look, the thing about amateur boxing is that every country and every city and every place runs it the way that they want to run it. And there's a lot of flaws in it. In amateur boxing, there's a lot of real good fighters that fall between the cracks. And they don't get the opportunities that could have gotten them all the way to the top. Listen, my peoples, I'm telling you right now, look, something that boxing fans don't even consider, I'm going to tell you guys. Right now, there are fighters walking around that we don't even know their names because they got a bunch of losses and their career was, fighting in small clubs. But right now, there's a guy walking around with a record like 25 wins and 8 losses. And that guy actually has elite level talent, elite level skills. And he's a fighter with 8 losses, fighting in small clubs. You know why? Because that talent and those skills never matched the resources that he needed to go somewhere. It never matched a good manager that's going to move your career. So I seen fighters out here, very talented, that could have, you see the talent, you're like, yo, this guy could become a world champion. And when the kid was 10-0, they put him up against another guy that was 10-0 and got beat up. Beat up. Why you put him against an undefeated fighter who's facing better competition than he is? He wasn't ready. Got beat up. So we have to understand that. Amateur boxing is all about how you develop a fighter. Some programs develop a fighter real good before they turn pro. And they prepare them for being professionals, and they also develop them throughout the pro rankings. But look at Jaron Boots Ennis. Bro, he got 30 wins? 31? How many wins Boots got? How many? Let me look it up, my people. Look, my people, wait a minute, my peoples. Wait a minute. Because Carrier Cooliner decided to show some love to Jay Smith with the super chat vibes. I always got to give people a pause for that. Because this is my saying. Carrier Cooliner, that money's not going to make you poorer. It's not going to make me richer. But it shows me that you appreciate what I'm doing out here. It shows that I am doing the right thing. So, Carrier Cooliner, I really appreciate you. Salute. Bam. So, look, my peoples, Jaron Boots Ennis, he got 34 wins. 34. You know that to some people, that's their whole career, 34 fights. Some people, 34 fights, that's what they fight in their whole career. And Boots already got that. Boots is a seasoned, at 28 years old, Boots is a seasoned veteran, y'all. He a seasoned vet. So I don't see, and not just he's a seasoned vet, a special fighter, a talented fighter, a big guy. Nah, I'm not with the tune-up. I'm not with the tune-up, my peoples. What's up with the tune-up? Y'all tell me what's up with the tune-up when you're that talented, that big. Look, you know how I'm okay with a champion moving up and asking for a tune-up first? If it's somebody who has a small frame. You see, Crawford could have said, I want a tune-up against Canelo, because he's moving up all those divisions. Or if it's a fighter, like I said, like a Manny Pacquiao, when he was going to fight at 147, he could have said, yeah, I want a tune-up. He's a small guy at that division. But for Jaron Boots Ennis, he's bigger than most 154-pound fighters, bro. Jaron Boots Ennis is bigger than most 154-pound fighters, my peoples. Let that sizzle in your spirit. So the whole stuff about, he got to acclimate, he got to get ready. Come on, bro. You bigger than all them dudes in that division already. What you acclimating to? Love more Hinduism. Boots needs to fight a name. I'm trying to tell you, man. When you have 34 professional fights, it's already get to that point where fans are going to be pressuring, like, yo, fight somebody already. And I know that Boots has a lot of good wins in his resume. Don't get it twisted. But he don't have great wins. A lot of good wins, no great wins. Bro, it's about time you get in the ring with one of those dudes. And look, he could have did it with Brian Norman Jr. at welterweight. Didn't do it. And he could have did it with Virgil at 54. Didn't do it. So, Jaron Boots Ennis went from a fighter who was calling everybody out, who wanted to fight everybody, to a fighter in need of tune-ups. How you was out there calling out Crawford, calling out Arrow, calling out Keith, and now you need tune-ups. It don't add up. It doesn't add up to me, my people. If you're a great fighter, I want to see you reaching for greatness. Boots is not going to be reaching for greatness fighting a tune-up. Nah. Let's see. Look. Let's see who he's going to fight next. Because at the end of the day, it's all speculation, right? We can assume, oh, he's not going to fight this guy. He's not going to fight that guy. Let's see who he's going to fight next. He's talking about a tune-up. Let's see what that tune-up is looking like. I say Bakram Mortasaliev is a great option. But Bakram, he's no tune-up. With the way that he beat the crap out of Tszyu, he's no tune-up. For sure. Bakram Mortasaliev can fight. He got power. Fight him. Fight him, my people. Hold on, let me show you a little bit of the skills. Preet. Put it in my arse. Golly. Esas medallas, bro. Yeah, you know, I'm a runner, my peoples. Esas medallas son corriendo maratones, corriendo medio maratones, corriendo muchísimo ahí. He not fighting Bakram? Come on now. That's what I'm saying, though. Use Bakram as a tune-up. Check. My peoples, y'all never seen the jab. Let me show you the J. Smith jab real quick. Let me show you. Check out the jab. Ooh, you see that jab? Look. Oh, my people, I still got a little something left. Don't get it twisted. Still got a little something left. Juan Ocasio. He not fighting Bakram. I like to see it, though. I definitely like to see it. Jacob. Speaking of Boost, now I think of it, I've been hearing about Boost versus Fundora. That's an interesting fight, bro. That's an interesting fight. I would love to see it. But Boost is talking about tune-ups. We can forget about Boost and Fundora for now. Negro 90. Incredible, hermano. ¿Haces boxeo? Yo boxeaba cuando estaba más joven. When I was younger, I was an amateur boxer. Trained for a while. Even after I wasn't boxing. And I got one professional fight in the books. Jacob, for that belt too. Listen, that's an explosive fight. Boost versus Fundora is an explosive matchup. It's a fight where you're going to see styles collide because both fighters like to be aggressive. Boots is going to have one advantage over Fundora. He's gonna be at a disadvantage when it comes to the reach, obviously. Just like everyone else who faces Fundora. But Boots is going to have the edge in footwork. He's going to give, a lot of angles, a lot of movement to Fundora. So I think he'll make it an interesting fight. I cannot make a prediction right now. Right now, I would say that's a 50-50 fight. But if they were to ever agree to fight each other, I'll make a prediction then. Juan Ocasio, Xander fighting this week. If he wins, I want to see him versus Boots. I don't know because Xander, he's pursuing an opportunity to fight Fundora. In fact, he wanted that fight next. And he has already... He's not going to fight Fundora simply because Fundora vacated the title. That's it. But he was Fundora's mandatory. So Xander Zayas is going to be looking to grab a title. Now, after he has a title, I think a fight with him and Boots can happen. But right now, I think he's just looking to become a world champion. Jacob. And I think it'll happen because Turkey already said he wished Boots versus Ortiz was a unifier or undisputed. If Boots beats Fundora, I think that's the unification. Look. All of those fights, because we have to understand, right now, 154 is on fire. All of those fights can happen. The thing is, Turkey can help make some of those happen, or he can get in the way of some of those happening. Why I say in the way? Because look at Teofimo Lopez and Jaron Boots Ennis. Boots pretty much said that he didn't fight Teo because of Turkey. It's almost like Turkey got in the way of that deal happening. And then look at Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. They almost fought, and Teo said the same thing. It was kind of like Turkey. He think people were slaves. So that dictator stuff that we've been talking about, that we see in Turkey, that he behaves kind of like a dictator, we've already seen some fighters, hint that yes, that may actually be the case. John Parent, 154 is loaded. That's a fact. That is a fact, man. There's a lot of big fights at 154. And it's like I told you, man, I'm disappointed in Boots just because that's not what I was expecting. Like, you're a great fighter. I'm expecting you to just go for the champions right away. And I'm telling you, I don't have a problem with Boots not fighting Virgil. I don't have a problem at all with that. Real talk, my peoples. I don't see an issue with that. Because I've said it before. That's a fight that has to marinate a little bit longer because both of those guys have superstar potential. They'll make a lot more money. Everybody's, involved in it will make a lot more money if that fight happens when at least one of them is a champion so that they could be defending. Or both of them being champions and it's a unification fight. Right now, for a title eliminator, that fight's not that big. It's an interesting fight. Not that big. So all I'm saying is, I'm cool with him not fighting Virgil. What I'm not cool with is the stuff about the tune-ups. I'm okay with him not fighting Virgil because right now Virgil Ortiz is not a champion himself. Neither one of them is champions. So cool, we don't need that fight right now. But to say I need two, not one, two tune-ups, that's diabolical. That is insane, in my opinion. You don't need two tune-ups. You're a great fighter. You're very talented. You're a big guy. For the people who told me, nah, he got to get acclimated to 154. You know how big Boots is? You got to be sparring middleweights, and guys that's bigger than middleweights. Boots is big as hell. He do not need to acclimate to nothing. Underrated Will. Good morning, Jay Smith in chat. My brother. Bam. Appreciate you tuning in. Y'all know what this is, my peoples. This is Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. I seen a lot of people was ducking that like button. The same way Tank Davis be ducking Shakur. No, my peoples. The reality, and y'all know this is true, Tank Davis need to stop ducking Shakur, but the same way y'all need to stop ducking that like button. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And enjoy the show, man. Juan Ocasio, and Boots has 30 plus fights. I was just saying that you got 34 fights. 34 professional fights. 0 big names in your resume yet. And now when you're finally given that opportunity to put a name in that you declining, that's not, that's not a look of greatness. That's a look of, nah, I'm not ready for that yet. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that you're not ready for that yet. You should be ready for. Think about how we view Jaron Boots Ennis. One of the best fighters of this generation. A special talent. A generational talent. We praise Boots very highly. So how is it that we got Terrence Crawford moving up 2 divisions to challenge the face of boxing? We got Manny Pacquiao coming back from retirement to challenge a world champion. We had Terrence Crawford move up to 154 to challenge the reigning world champion. And Boots is talking about tune-ups? Come on, my peoples. Does that really make sense to y'all? Boots, the guy, that special fighter that gives it to you orthodox or southpaw, that special fighter that is knocking people out in spectacular fashion, big-ass fighter at welterweight who can't even make weight anymore, he need a tune-up at 154? Come on. That's weak as hell. No matter what. Listen, Nobody is gonna be able to convince me that that shit is not weak as hell. That's weak. Weak. Wow. I can't even believe how weak that is, bro. Dev versus Norman, what you think? Underrated Will, Dev versus Norman, what you think? I'm gonna tell you like this, underrated Will. Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. I've been hearing that fight is off. I've been hearing that apparently Devin and Bill decided to pull out. So it looked like that fight is not gonna happen. If it is gonna happen, I was kind of leaning towards Brian Norman Jr. just because of the power, the size, Devin moving up, little factors that I felt like Brian Norman Jr. could get to him. But it looked like that fight may not even happen, my peoples. Cuervo, who will be some good opponents for Boots? For Boot and Ennis? Well, Boot and Ennis is the same person, my brother. Bakram Mortasaliev will be a good opponent. Blair the Flair will be a good one. Sebastian Fundora, another good opponent for him. Brian Norman Jr., another good opponent for him. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of fights. Keith Thurman will be a good opponent. Pay him. Pay him his money and get Keith. That's a fight I would like to see as well. There's a lot of possibilities for Jaron Boots Ennis. The thing is that when you say I want 2 tune-ups, it makes you wonder, man. Road Dogg Blair 147, yeah, but he already said that he's willing to move up to 154. We might even see him at 154 in his next fight. I'm not sure about that, but he's already said for that action, for that smoke, he's ready. Underrated Will. Brown will hurt Devin. I see it happening, and Boo's just giving us anything and excuses. Blair the Flair is more of a tune-up. Your tag, whatever his name is, come on, man. Blair the Flair is not a tune-up, man. He can fight. Don't disrespect Blair the Flair like that, bro. Or, okay, then if you think Blair the Flair is a tune-up, then there you go. Fight him next. He's been calling out Boots. If he's a tune-up, if you think he's a tune-up, fight him next. Domingo, Coach Malachi was in Atlanta this weekend with the Normans. He said the fight is happening, just might get postponed. Okay, fair enough. Then why would it get postponed, though? Like, we're still a long ways away from it. We're talking about that fight supposed to be for November. We're in September. I don't see why would it be postponed. Or is it that they're both going to fight somebody else and then meet later? Raw Dog, Rocha already tuned up. Cobbs at 147. What does that even mean? I try to teach you that, Raw Dog, that one fight between an opponent in a different way, in a different day, doesn't really mean anything. You didn't tell me absolutely nothing with that. Domingo Bonilla, I said Blair the Flair is more of a tune-up than Muraz, that guy. Oh, that Murtasaliev. Yeah, man, Murtasaliev is just... Honestly, I don't think Blair the Flair or Murtasaliev are tune-up fighters. I really don't think so. John Pound, I want Blair and Rowley. Man, listen. Blair versus Rowley's, I think just the press conference alone will be pay-per-view worthy. Just the pressers. They're going to have to put that on pay-per-view. My peoples, I'm about to end this live. As always, y'all know how Jay Smith get down. Before I get out of here, I want to say I appreciate everyone who tuned in this morning. This is, by the way, this is episode number 25 of Boxing for Breakfast. I can't believe it, man. Like 25 episodes in. So you guys, there's only 15 of us, but you guys will be the ones to hear it. You know, when I started Boxing for Breakfast, I didn't know how long this was going to go. You know, I said, I'm going to do this thing, Boxing for Breakfast, because, you know, I know as a boxing fan, I want to do boxing in the morning. I want to talk boxing, and I don't really have anybody to do it at home with. You know, maybe people are going to appreciate this concept, and decide when I'm on my way to work, when I'm eating my breakfast, I'm gonna enjoy some boxing for breakfast. So my original plan was, I'm gonna do maybe 10 episodes and see how that works out. If people not feeling it, I'll try something else. I'm always looking for something creative to do for boxing fans to enjoy it. And we're already in episode 25. I've been doing it every day. You guys been tuning in. So we can't turn back, right? We got to keep going. So tomorrow at 6 a.m. Eastern Time, Boxing for Breakfast is going to be on and popping, my peoples. And again, I keep reminding y'all, Punchlines. Go watch the first episode of Punchlines, which is already up now. Punchlines with Jay Smith and Mr. KO is on every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. My peoples, you don't want to miss it. Mr. KO and myself, we're going at it, debating what fighters are the best, what fighters are going to fight next. We making predictions. We trash talking. We just enjoying the sweet science, my peoples. So go ahead and check out Punchlines and enjoy the sweet science with us. Y'all already know what it is, man. I'm Jay Smith. This is Boxing for Breakfast. Y'all already got your healthy dosage of sweet science this morning. Tune in again tomorrow, and we get it popping. I'm out of here, my peoples. Peace.